Wonderful.
So Susan reached out to me and just immediately casted the vision, and again, timing is everything, right? And I think what you're bringing to us with this vision is what attracted us to Isogenics and really helped to create that success and that foundation that really got us to commit and to really commit to ourselves and to our families and to other people and to our teams. And it really was a uniting effort too. I think like that's kind of what's tailed off over the years, and it's a part of that I really miss of Isogenics. And when I think back to that time, I think, was it the people, and it was the whole movement, but those friendships that I created back then are so strong, and like that's what I cling to, right? Like that's my memories of Isogenics and being at these events and developing ourselves and growing and being vulnerable. So most people don't really know why they're on here, Susan. We just said, "Hey, Susan's leading the charge and the battle cry," and so I'm just gonna kind of zip it and turn it over to you and let you cast this vision and what
Sure.
you've shared with us and some of us already, and where we want to go with this, and then we'll chime in and get everybody's kind of take on it as we go forward here. So, Susan.
Absolutely, Dave. Thanks so much. And I'll pin myself here. It's great to see everyone. It's like a family reunion. And Dr. Mia's here too, and I'll share some context with everyone. But we're going to do a draw along. So if you can grab a piece of paper quickly, um, that would be amazing. So we will literally do a draw along. And um, I think that the big thing is why we're here is we love a company and we love products that are life-changing and we love transformation. And there's been something that's missing from our amazing company, and that's what we're going to talk about. I might get a little emotional, so we'll start at I guess the beginning for all of us. So, if you could all draw a beautiful mountain, if you could see, mine looks like a shark fin. That'd be amazing. Just a little mountain. So, when we think about this person over here was us, right? And someone said, Rhonda, Jojo, Susan, Malcolm, Debbie, what you want with your health. Like I think about, our transformations where I was in 2003. I was sick. I was exhausted. I was using the television to babysit my kids. I was frustrated, and Deborah Kay, who God rest her soul, passed, stood there with me, beside me, and said, Hey, Susan, what you want in your health is on the other side of this mountain. And I'll come along with you. And the vehicle that we're going to use to climb over this mountain, casting the vision, what if you could be healthier? What if you could be a better mom? What if you could have more energy for your kids, right? The vehicle is a 9-day cleanse because that's what the vehicle was. And I'm going to coach you. I'm going to stand with you. And she drove 3.5 hours. She brought me the 9-day. And I remember the first 2 days, I felt like someone was taking a jackhammer and like opening up my skull. I cheated. I ate oatmeal, but I still dropped 7 pounds and 11 inches. And on day 4, how many of you remember your day 4? Like just show of hands, right? What happened on day 4? Jeff, how did you feel day 4?
I felt fantastic. I sat and watched my wife, all these transformations that she was having. And when I raised my hand and started putting it in my body, I just felt me lighten up and getting my life back. I dropped 28 pounds my first month. So you can imagine what day 4 was. Happened quick.
Right? And so someone stood with us. We climbed this mountain, and then what we said 2 words. What's next? What's next? So then I want you to draw another mountain. So then we had the next mountain to climb, consultant, manager, director, executive. But unlike the first time when we had a 30-day or a 9-day or whatever it was that we used to climb that mountain, the tool this time was the compensation plan. But what was fueling us was the personal development. And my friends, who I all consider you family, this is emotional for me. Part of the reason I've been a bit checked out is because there is no rocket fuel in our company. We have a great compensation plan, but there's nothing that is giving the person write these words down, please, the courage, the conviction, the certainty, and the growth that is required to climb the mountain because the second mountain is higher. Most of us are Ice Giants millionaires here. And it was that immersive training. David and I used to train, like we'd break hunting arrows on people's throats. We had Beyond Courage. And so that's what's missing in our company. And I made some slides and I can get into them, but I'm going to share a story and I don't mind being vulnerable with any of you. So most of you know that in 2018 we applied for our green cards because since the time I was a little girl, my dream was to live in America. And we were denied because of network marketing. They said it isn't a legitimate profession. You haven't made enough, you don't make enough money. I was making a nice chunk, almost $2 million a year. And so Chris and I had a heart to heart and we said, we really want to stay in America. What are we going to do? And our attorney said, well, there's something called the person of extraordinary ability, and there are 15 items on the checklist. And most people never achieve them. It's like get a patent, peer review journal articles, write in a journal, do all these things. And I said, I want to live in America. We're going to do this. And I treated it like a rank advancement. And so from 2018 to 2022, I spent 4 years checking 13 of 15 boxes. I went back to school. I studied at MIT. I graduated MIT Sloan after 3 years. I went to engineering school at MIT. I co-founded an AI company. I became one of the top women in the world in AI. Ice Giants was never far from my heart, but in 2022, we got our green cards. And then I was like, okay, I called Sharon and I said, praise God, we got the green cards and I want to build. But there was still something missing for me. And I was like, I couldn't put my finger on what was missing, but the business wasn't fun. And I remember Dave and I like at an event and we all watched The Secret. I think Rhonda, you were there. Like, remember like Jojo, you were there. And all of the personal development, the things we do, people could go in and on Friday they were like, I don't like that person. I remember Philip Sasso being like, I don't like you. And then on Sunday you're hugging, right? And you're breaking through. That went and celebration became like an ICU, right? So last December, I was in LA and my friend Rebecca Zung is really good friends with Tamsin Fidel, who's one of the top menopause influencers in the world. And Rebecca was like, come to LA, we'll go for dinner with Tamsin. And I walk into Rebecca's condo and her personal coach is there. And his name is Chris Lee. Chris Lee has coached Beyonce, Shakira. He currently coaches Coldplay. He coaches Lewis Howes, one of the top podcasters in America. He looks at me and he says, Susan, I don't know you, but my experience of you is you're broken, but you're not broken. You have lost your way. You've lost your confidence. You've let the world defeat you. You should be making $10 million a year, and you've allowed yourself to become a victim. This is 1 minute, Jojo, 1 minute after meeting me. I'm like, who is this man? And I just started to cry. And so he was like, listen, I do a 3-day event in LA. I want you to be my guest. I'm like, cool. So I'm like, I'll do anything at this point. And Rebecca had gone and she had done the basic 3-day and the advanced, which is 5-day. And I'm like, okay, I'm up for anything. So in March, I go and I tell Mia I'm going to go. And I go and it was unbelievably transformative. I've walked the fire with Tony Robbins. I've done all David stuff. I've trained David stuff. I've done, all the stuff that we've all done. And it unlocked for me limiting beliefs I didn't even know I had. And I went into the room with 149 strangers, and I came out Sunday night at 7 o'clock, bawling my eyes out, loving these people, 18-year-olds, 72-year-olds. And I'm like, this is so amazing. There was no PowerPoint, guys. Like no bells and whistles. We didn't break boards. We didn't walk fire. It was pure transformational training. And all people from walks of life. Like one of my new good close friends was on season of The Bachelor. I can't remember which season was on with Colton. And like there are barbers and movie producers. So I call Mia. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is the best training I've ever done. So Mia went, my son, who's on here, Andreas, my husband went, and then Mia and I went to advanced, and it changed our lives. Mia came out of advanced and went, screw this. And Sharon called her and said, do you want to oversee our women's health? And she's like, heck yes. Mia walked away from a massive job to be our women's health leader and just to work part-time. And like it changed us. And you can even probably see it in me. The Susan you used to know was burdened. She was in victim. She was in anxiety all the time. That's not who I am anymore. I don't even make decisions from that place. And what happened in my business, like yesterday, I did 2 hours of three-way calls. It was so fun. One girl, she's like down 11 pounds in 6 days, and her husband gets on, and my husband's there. And Jose is like, okay, I'm doing a 30-day. I'm going to stop stealing my wife's products. And we're having fun. And some of my girls are coming to LA. And I was talking to Dave and Carrie, and Dave's like, we've got to talk about this. Like we've got to, have this conversation. So Mia, I don't know if you want to step out and share what Basic did for you, and then we can talk about it because we're all going. It's like an ISA revolution. It's not, no one gets commissions on the training. There's no like $25,000 coaching package. There's not even a $25,000 course. The basic weekend is $695. It's at LAX, so it's super cheap. And Chris is training it. He doesn't always train it. And I have a bunch of my team members coming. And this is when I went to Mallorca to train for Isogenics. I used some of this training, and their recruiting went up, their consultants went up, the order basket went up, and like because Elena's like, Susan, just train whatever you want to train. And I said to Dave, I'm like, and Malcolm and Carrie and Jojo, we're not doing this. Let's do this. Let's all go and then bring this training, but field driven to the company. I spoke to Steve Foxwell. He's like, maybe we can hire Chris to do this training. I'm like, I don't know. But all I do know is it works. I'm convicted. Like the fact, my girls, I haven't done three-way calls in like, now I do 4 a day. Like this is insane. They're so fired up. So Mia, if you want to share what unleashed for you in basic and advanced would be amazing.
Great. Hi, everybody. So great to be here with everyone. And I'm going to preface, when Susan came back, she told me it was non-negotiable. So she literally came back and said, girl, you need to go. It's non-negotiable. Just trust me. And I went, like she said, the first one was 3 days. And I have to tell you, the first day I hated it. I was very skeptical. I was prejudgy. I was not happy to be there because, like she says, it's very, I can't describe it because if you go, I give it away, but it's not what you're expecting. And then by the day when we finished at the end, it was absolutely transformational for me. And again, I'm like all of you on this call, been to Tony Robbins, been to lots of personal development, have attended a ton in a profession. I'm always doing personal growth and tons of things like that. When I went to advanced, then advanced was 5 days, everyone. And I'm telling you, this starts at midnight and ends at or starts at noon and ends at midnight, maybe 2 in the morning. You don't know when it ends. And again, very non-traditional. First day or two was not liking it. I actually called Chris Arkeveld and said, I think I'm going to bail. I want to leave. And he's like, don't leave, don't leave. And I didn't want to tell Susan I was frustrated. And on day 4, Chris who Susan's speaking about took me, Chris, the trainer, took me out of the room and he said, he knows people. It's incredible. He said, you sit there and watch like a hawk. You're not interacting, but you know everything that's going on. And I know that you're taking it all in. And when he took me out, he said, who clipped your wings in your life? And I've had a couple of very massive tragedies in my life. And he's just such a good read of people. What I have to tell you is on day 4, I was sobbing with just feeling like I had grown so much and professionally, personally. On day 5, it literally changed. Like it is weird to describe, but you learn a different language. Susan and I speak a different language, even like I'm in the drift or things like this are going on, and we get each other now in a different way. And she's right. When I left basic, I went home, I wrote my resignation letter, and I sat on it for a day or two, and then I submitted it. And I resigned I was going to be the director of all of genetics for Honor Health, which is 9 hospitals, massive job. It was crazy. I'd spent a year and a half building the whole philosophy, and I resigned. And it was extremely liberating. And look where I am now. Like I'm working with all of you, doing what I love, my passion, and working on it. Just, I know it's hard to describe when you hear from Susan and I, but it is transformational. And I don't know, Susan, if I did it justice or not, but yeah, there's no PowerPoints, very, very original. And I cannot say enough about, Chris Lee. He is a master at what he's doing. And yeah, if we could get him to come and train, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, and Mia, I think that the big thing is like the thing I love about this training is we all went to network marketing training. The problem is it's not necessarily transformational training because it's training with an agenda.
Mhm.
And Malcolm, we were talking about like in his previous company, they had field-driven transformation. And it's so different. And when we get to transform in a safe environment, but also in an environment of 150 people where we can't hide, and I'll explain it because I said to Dave, I'm not sure how they're actually making money because the basic training, as I said, $695. No one gets, there's no salespeople, there's no commissions, there's no like, anything. And then the advanced training is 1,300. And then that's it. There's no like coaching package, $150,000 mastermind. And that's another reason I'm convicted because it's so accessible for us. And the invitation is to come and I will share this slide that I made. It's not that I spent a lot of time because I used Gamma, but if you're not familiar with it, it will change your life. But one of the things that I said in these slides is that essentially sorry, the Zoom bar is over what I want to say. Like the reinvention, the company doesn't transform until we do. I've been in isogenics for 22 years. I had 2 of my babies in this company. Like, the company isn't going to transform until we do. And it's, one of the things is there are a lot of people who are attacking our company, but they're trying to enroll people with fear, with judgment. None of that comes from love. And as courageous leaders, we get to step up and stand up and say, hey, you know what? We're going to reinvent ourselves and then we're going to reinvent the company. So the event is Dave, Carrie, and Malcolm are already registered. Basic 217. That means it's been trained 217 times. It's not a fancy name. It's at the Renaissance Hotel in LAX, October 17th to 19th. They've been doing this for 30 years. And we know we're leading, we built success, but let's face it, we've been going through the motions. Zoom isn't working, friends. It's not immersive. And the team will mirror our patterns. And there, we call them energy leaks, right? That are not working. And so why this training? It's root level healing. Reinvent your identity. You come out with a new confidence and you're unburdened. And a little bit about Chris, I'll just say this. He's helped over 1 million people break through. He is, as Mia said, he knows you and there's nowhere to hide. He's been doing this for 3 decades and he's been on Lewis. Dave listened to one of his shows with Lewis. He specializes in teaching abundance. He specializes in helping all of these celebrities who have their own rackets break through. And it's absolutely amazing. So, I won't share anymore. We're open to questions. We're open to comments. Dave, if you want to share, Malcolm, why you're going.
And let me just say a couple things here and
Yeah.
what you guys said, which it was perfect. It was well said. What excites me too, which you may want to elaborate on maybe a little more, Susan, um, as we go through this, it's not just a one event and one and done. We're looking at like, because you were sharing with me, Susan, there's another one after the advanced, and then you're qualified to train it. And
Hmm.
in our own way as a field, we could keep driving this instead of having somebody from corporate hire somebody like a David Wood, which was awesome. But I just feel like it'd be so much more powerful as we were the trainers. We're the trainers, and we continue this on. And I could see a gathering hub, maybe like in Arizona or something, just kind of like throwing it out there into the future, where we come into corporate office, they let us use that auditorium, and maybe it gets so big that we can't use that auditorium, or maybe I don't know if the groups need to stay small. I mean, that's the details, right? But I just could see kind of like I really fell in love with the Growth U with Rod Harrison, and it really united our team in this personal development, like you were talking about, how we all kind of grew together. I love what you said. The company doesn't transform until we do. And I think everybody on here is of that philosophy. We're the choir, right? But it's finding the vehicle and it's finding the synergy. And I believe, and Susan, you're such an incredible leader. I tell everybody still, even to this day, yeah, when I got in, Susan was one, I wanted to be like Susan. And so many people are willing to follow you because of the example and the integrity and the things that you've accomplished. So I see with you driving this, we could really unite the field and the company and get it to that $1 billion and beyond a year through this process that would be a continuing education. Like there's no end to it. We just keep doing it, right? And maybe as we advance, we become the trainers, right? But we're still going to need that. Even as we train, we're learning. But I just feel I trust Susan and what she's saying about the event. I've been to so many events. I mean, that's what we lived on. That's what we breathed, ate, and slept right in the beginning with Isogenics. So I really trust Susan and now Mia hearing your testimony of it and your experience. And so, yeah, I didn't even hesitate. Me and Carrie are going. Malcolm's going. JoJo's trying to work out a schedule because it's right in the middle of her. We threw it on her in the middle of her vacation with her family. But so I don't know if you want to speak a little bit to that, like the ongoing part of that, to where we keep fueling and stoking and keeping the coals hot, Susan.
Absolutely. I'm going to share from my AI world, and by all means, you guys can take some notes. I'm going to be what this has done for my business is cycles will follow excitement. And what it has done for my business already coming back, as I said, I'm doing three-way calls all the time. So what I did when I came out of advanced, so the next level after advanced is a 4 month leadership training. So my son Andreas is in that with me for 4 months of daily coaching, daily accountability, and they charge $1,800 for 4 months. Like I'm like, you guys, like, how do you even run a business? But okay, I'm all in. So what I did is I said, I'm going to take a group of our leaders who've been around for a long time, but they've achieved like 3 star or above, and they're stuck, and they applied. And I did a 5 week mastermind with them. And they are coming to this event. And I didn't give them what they do in basic or advanced, but I did some other things with them. And they're doing daily accountability in a WhatsApp group. These are my declarations. This is what I'm celebrating. These girls are blowing up my schedule. Now we have a Super Saturday in Toronto. We haven't had one in a while. It's going to sell out. I think the last time I looked, it was like 25% sold out. It just went on sale, and Mia's coming. And that momentum, guys, when have we had that, right? And the piece around it, to what Dave is saying, is the vision that Dave and I have been working on, is that whoever goes to this, coming out of it, will do a 5-week mastermind. We'll bring the team together. And part of that project will be that we create in Q1 this event, our version of it for the field. But we get to experience it first so we know what we're inviting to. When I taught a version of this in Mallorca, what you will experience in LA is very, it's very, very concentrated over 3 days. I had 4 days, and I had the beach, and I had a bunch of stuff that I did. We had leaders there that didn't like each other, were backstabbing each other. On day 4, they loved each other. They were hugging. And I said to them on day 1, I'm like, some of you won't like me, but by day 4, you'll love me. And we had men crying. And we haven't had that, guys, in so long. And what would happen? And Rhonda, as you said, like, I've been on this healing journey too, but now I'm healed. What if we could bring healing to the field? What if people came to Isogenics like they used to because of the personal transformation? They transform physically with the products, but we facilitate personal transformation in every aspect of their lives. Like, I'm really, really, I'm so fired up. Mia, what do you want to say?
I just want to add, so when Susan's talking about the training, again, I want to go back to it's very atypical, and I want to say why I wanted to leave because I think that's really important. Some of the things that they make you do, I was like, I am not doing that. Like that, no way. I would never be seen doing that, or I'm not doing that. And then you come back and you're like, that was the most amazing thing I just did because I would have never done that, right? And it just pushes you to think very differently and out of your comfort zone, perhaps, is a great way of explaining it. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, there's nothing they could ask Jeff Beebe to do that he'd be uncomfortable doing. So, like, that's, I
Oh,
just, I,
like I won't give it away, but we had to, we got,
no, stop.
okay. But yeah, I'll go on mute. So, but literally, I was like, I'm not doing that. No. And I went along with the group, and halfway through, I was like all in and came back. I'm like, okay. So I just want to let you know, like Susan's saying, very atypical.
Well, and yeah, and I think that something that I invite everyone to consider is that let's ground in where you're at right now in your business and in your life. Let's ground there. Isogenics just upgraded the products massively. Paul Arciero's there, Mia's there. They just did a $60,000 bonus. Like, it's no longer up to the company, it's up to us. And when I went to basic, because I had met Chris, now Mia's basic trainer was not Chris. And that's why I said, like, Chris is the best trainer they have. Um, and he's mentoring me. Um, I decided that, Rhonda, probably where you're at right now, that I was on a healing journey. So I showed up, I sat in the front row, and I said, bring it on. Bring it on, because I don't like who I'm being. I don't like that I'm in victim. I don't like that I'm stuck. I don't like that any of this. Just bring it the heck on, because I am ready for transformation, and I'm standing for a transformed world. And whatever I learn here is going to be a stand for my family, is going to be a stand for my marriage. This program saved my marriage. Chris and I were on the verge of divorce. And so I went, then, as I said, he went with our son, then he did advanced. And for the first time in 25 years, it was like we saw each other. It was like unbelievable. And how, like to Mia's point, how she and I communicate as business partners, how Chris and I communicate now. Like the fact he jumped into a three-way call Zoom, this is like, who the heck is this? It's like, fire. So I'm here to answer questions. If you want to come with us, I don't know, Dave, if you've looked at the hotel, what the rate is. Like we're going old school. It's fun. Like I have like three girls in one room, three girls in another room. It's like the best ever. A bunch of us are going to go to Universal on Thursday and have some fun. So because I've already done the program, I don't get to redo it, but Andreas and I are graduating from our leadership program that same weekend. So I will be there with all of you when you graduate, which is fun. So it starts Friday at 10 a.m. and it ends on Sunday at 7 p.m. So I am open to take questions.
So did you look at hotel, Dave?
I think it was two. I did look at it, but I don't remember, but I think it was like $200 a night or something like that. Can you put that link in the chat again, Susan?
I can open the Marriott app while we're talking
And
and see what the rate is.
Malcolm, you wanted to share something?
Yeah. I was wondering. So we're done at 7 because they talked about some kind of graduation thing, and the last flight I can get out to Reno is at 8:30, which means I've got to get over to the airport, at 7:30 at the latest. And I was wondering about the graduation thing, if that would interfere if I'd missed that.
So yeah, the graduation starts at 7 and
They,
it's very special. Yeah,
How long does that go?
about an hour.
Carrie got a call from one of the employees from there today that they did an interview with her and they tried reaching me, but it went to voice. So there's an interview process that they're going to call you, Malcolm. They may have tried already since you already got your ticket. But I need to call her back. But I'm sure there's a lot of questions you could ask her as well on the
Yeah,
details.
they do the onboarding and it's really what's your vision for your life? What are what are your top goals? I can tell you what Chris Lee says about the program is you get to surface anything that's standing between you and your next level of greatness. 186 a night, friends, at the Renaissance. Andreas, what did you want to say, hon? Oh, let me introduce my ISA baby.
I was going to say, who is this Andreas guy? I've never seen him before. And like,
A million years, right? So, Andreas,
man,
go ahead. He was just
Wait,
staying.
how old are you now?
I'm 23.
he is
So, oh my gosh. Okay. That's just crazy.
yeah.
Hello everyone. Just bring up the point of graduation. It's an amazing experience because there's a lot of celebration going on. So to reiterate, Malcolm, I understand your concerns with the flight travel and everything. There is two parts of it where we're going to be celebrating you guys after finishing basic and the big accomplishment there. And then we're gonna have our graduation. You're gonna witness that where we're gonna finish our program, and then you're gonna get a sneak peek about what we're up to. So that's probably gonna take longer than an hour. But Malcolm, I believe that it is possible. Like the possibility is that you can like leave after the basic graduation to make that flight. But also at the same time, that weekend is going to be an amazing weekend. There's going to be a lot of celebrating going on and a lot of transformation happening. Um, so
So
yeah,
ideally,
like
you'd
we're
want
gonna
Monday morning and
have like what we're doing right now. We're just starting a community service project, and you're gonna see like a video of everything we're up to and what we got to do for that, and yeah, it's an amazing experience. So definitely recommend everyone sticks around and stays for that. But that's what I wanted to share.
Well, since you're talking, why don't you share who you were before Basic and who you were after?
Okay. So basic really, really changed my life in an amazing, amazing way. And especially I was 22 going into it. And I was doing it with my dad, and I had no clue what was going on, as I'm sure Mia did. Mia was in the same way because we were doing the same course. And yeah, I was doing it. We were doing it together, and I was like, "What the heck am I getting into?" I'm just like, "Okay, whatever it takes to make my amazing mother happy, and to do it for her." But in all honesty, I just found out like I was just growing in so many ways in such little time. It was an incredible experience. Like before basic, I was just very shallow. I was just very shy. I was just in survival mode all the time. And now it's like I'm learning to step up, to stand out, and to own my voice. And it's been an amazing, amazing experience over the course of like I think like around like 8 months or so or like something like it's been a long time, but yeah, it's just it's the amount that you accomplish and you achieve in such little time. It's extraordinary. You're gonna grow in ways that you didn't even expect. I mean, not to give spoilers away, but like through advance I somehow managed to learn to forgo my fear of heights because there's a ropes course that we did, and I was climbing up that thing like a spider monkey, like, and I was having a blast. And but yeah, even before that, I was like 6 months, like before basic, I would have doing something like that would have terrified me. Um, so yeah, you get rid of so much baggage that's just not necessary, and it transforms you in ways that you least expect. So yeah, this has been an amazing experience, and I definitely recommend that you all climb on board and get to be part of it. So yeah.
Andreas, are you open to sharing something you claimed that you were ashamed of?
Ooh, that is a big question. Something I claimed that I was ashamed of. I think the
Oh, go ahead.
or you could share something, but I think the big one for me was like um I think it was like just playing victim a lot was the big one that I learned to let go of, and learning to take a stand for myself and my accomplishments. And Before basic, I wasn't really one to acknowledge everything I had achieved, and um I just again put all this unnecessary baggage on my back. And um as I stepped into this program, as I climbed the levels, I again learned to let go of so much. And now I'm showing up in extraordinary ways. A lot of more opportunities are opening up to me, especially in careers and financially. And Yeah, every day is just an opportunity for growth. And yeah, an amazing experience.
Thank you. And
Mhm.
he's so funny. He was staying, Mia enrolled one of our teammates, and Andreas was staying with him. And he's like, "You don't have enough products." And so then the next thing you know, he's like got him ordering like a whole bunch of more products and essentially coaching him, which was awesome. The I sent so the link comes from Mastery in Transformational Training. So Rhonda, I sent it to you. And I sent it to Pam and Wendy. So Wendy has a conflict. So the next one Chris is teaching is going to be December 12th to 14th. Um, there's another gal in ISA who's coming. Her name's Meredith. She's coming with her son Jimmy, who's Andreas's age. Highly recommend if, that is an experience you want to have. My 28-year-old is coming to your basic that you're doing. My kids' godparents are coming who are in our isogenics team. So check the link. Rhonda, did it come through? You might want to check your junk too. Debbie, I'm sending it to you, Liv.
And there's only so many uh, people that they allow to come, right? They keep it fairly small, so it's not like they just sell and sell and sell until nobody wants to buy. It's a limited number
Yeah.
or intimate.
Yeah, and because there's no commissions or like anything, like it basically like Lewis can't even talk about it on his show. It's kind of like word of mouth that you find out. So, um,
Can I share something?
yeah.
I would love to just let you guys know that, like Dave said in the beginning, the timing is, I don't even know if the right word is crazy, but it's crazy because on our business Zoom last Monday, I shared with our team that I felt like a lot of them that were newer have totally missed out on what we got jumped in on. And what we got jumped in on was 6 events a year, self-development, personal growth, bliss retreats with Dave, Rhonda, and Lenny, following you, Susan, for sure. I learned so much from you, and you used to do a lot of webinars and all that stuff. And I feel like our newer teammates have missed out on that. And I've been trying to figure out what that beauty was. What was that spot? We had that perfect spot that just that not just momentum in business, but it was with everybody. Everybody loved everybody, and we all hung out. And something you said was it was fun. Like I loved getting on calls. I love three-way calls. I love training. I love open the box. I love all answering all the questions. And I found now, and being really open, don't love it so much anymore. I just don't. And I want to love it because I love isogenics and I love people and I love the product so much. I was talking to Tammy Hess on the phone the other day. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what is that spot? Let's get a group of people together. We need to have that personal development. Like we need to get back into that. And I know that and I can't do it. For some reason, I remember you saying you want people to join your business, but you're doing this. Like I feel like I'm doing that with personal development right now. So the timing of you talking about this is lighting my soul on fire. And I just wanted to just let you know I so appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Debbie. And this one of the things that we get to create is a vision for a transform world. And one of the things they ask us in the leadership program is, how will you take this training and transform your family, your community? And I wanted to, before I shared this with anyone in Isogenics, I was like, what would happen if I start applying this to my own business? And it became fun. And we play Isogenics now, and we're having like, oh my gosh, how many three-way calls did you do? Like, it's crazy. And that when I was sharing the vision with Dave, like coming together as leaders who've gone through the training, it's huge. Like, that to be able to do that. And so that's what we get to do and then come out the other side and 5 weeks collaborate together and create this vision for what 2026 looks like. Right? Like we get to do that and unburden you, Debbie, so it becomes fun again.
It was fun. And I'm kind of yellow. I'm red and yellow, so I love business and I love fun. And I really, I try on my own, I feel like try, I don't love that word, to ignite that. And I'm always there for people. It just doesn't feel like it used to feel. So this excites me.
All right, are you all in, sister? Am I going to get to hug you in person?
I'm looking at Jeff. We're supposed to be in Maui. And I'm like, I think we're going in November. So yeah, I want to say yes.
Yes. Let's do it.
That's October, what, 17th, right? That's a Friday.
17th through the 19th. Yeah.
I
And
want to add that Susan and I, we sent our head engineer for our company, our other company, to go so he could talk our talk with us, right? It just made such a difference, we words that we would use. Are you in alignment? Just certain things. And it was transformational for him to go as well. So I I mean, I'm sending my husband, I'm sending my daughter, people like that. It really is a ripple effect. And so I do want to edify that piece. And I did want to just edify, say everything good. I love network marketing. The reason I never quit Isagenix, I had a career on the go. It was always about the personal development going, and there was always a massive guest speaker. And that learning that we all did for all of those years contributes to your own career, to your family, to everything that you're doing. And I would agree. I think it's a really big piece that's missing is all of that personal. I liked what you wrote there, Dave. We referred to Isagenix as a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. That's why before I was in Isagenix, I was in a different company and I became successful in there. It was because it was all that personal development. I loved it, ate it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, like Pam, I don't know that you've seen that side of Isagenix, right? How long have you been in Isagenix? 3 or 4
Six and a half years.
and a half years. Wow. Yeah, you didn't see that, and Wendy, you might have seen it. How long has it been? You've seen it, right? I don't know which events you might have been to, if like
Yeah.
Master Stage or good.
I did a lot of David's things. I probably did University in Action 3 times, and I did his Train the Trainer with Colin James, and um yeah, had a lot of fun. I miss that. I do miss
Yeah.
that.
Wendy, you were all in, right?
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like going back to my special drawing, that second mountain, that is a hard mountain to climb. And when we first started Isodynamics many years ago, there wasn't like I can make $500 in driving for Uber Eats. Even that's going to go away with robotics. Like the world is changing. This girl who we're getting started in Florida, who I was on with yesterday, she was a global HR head and she was making multiple six figures. She was just replaced with AI. They brought in Accenture, took her job. My friend Carolyn, who's coming to the December one, she was the chief marketing officer for Intel. Accenture came in, they took her job. Like the world is changing, and mark my words, we are about to see, and I was texting this to Sharon, we're about to see a resurgence in network marketing, and we want to be the leaders. We want to be the place where people come to transform physically, financially, and then spiritually, emotionally. No other company is doing that. And we get to be the change in a transformed world. But the difference is because most of us are old enough to remember living through the recession. Guess what, my friends? These jobs are not coming back this time. When we went through the recession, a bunch of the people who became Legacy Club members in our team, Pam and Kevin Barnum, like a bunch of them, Janie Selgrove, they all joined during the recession because they were already making six figures. But they knew that the writing was on the wall, but a lot of those jobs came back. They're not coming back this time. Look at the job rate. Last month was 22,000. To sustain the US economy, it's 250,000 jobs we have to create every single month. And we're at 90% down. And this is real. I was in LA I was having coffee, talking to Chris, and two robots went by delivering stuff like Friday morning. And this is real. The game has changed. And I am all about being a stand in a transformed world so that we get to say to people, but we just didn't have the rocket fuel. Like I know, Rhonda, you are such an amazing human. And I know you've been tired. We've talked about this. I've been tired. We didn't have the rocket fuel to help propel us up Comp Plan Mountain, right? Like that was the problem. And that's personal development. Malcolm, go for it.
I'm glad Mia mentioned another company because I came from another company, was at the top of that company, and what we used to say is it's a personal development disguised as a business, and
Yep.
that was a true part of that company's culture.
Yep.
Okay, and the distributors made it that way. We used to have a boot camp, and what happened was our boot camp that happened in Reno was called Winterfest suddenly became Atlanta Fest, the LA Boot Camp. It spread all over the country. Okay. And there was Summerfest and it went to the Pacific Northwest, went to Boston. There was a boat camp out of New York Harbor. But it was all associate driven. Okay. And the thing that stuck with me was Isogenics and Dave MacArthur saved my wife's life. And the previous company had lousy products and a horrific marketing plan, like an absolutely impossible marketing plan. Okay. All they had going for them is what we're talking about.
Mhm.
That's all they had going for them. Okay. So this is the because this is a volunteer organization, and volunteer organizations require leadership skill that is way beyond anything that corporate America can imagine. Okay.
Mhm.
He's a volunteer. You don't have the ability to lean on somebody and the implied threat is I can fire you, right? We don't have that. So you have to lead by example. The only way you're going to do that is to transform yourself into this incredible leader that people want to follow. And it does have to be fun. And I agree with you totally. It's just amazing.
Should jump in here for a second.
Well said.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Anyways, hey, one, I think two, we need to exactly what you said. We need to bring the vision painters back into the game, because if it wasn't for people like you, Susan, and different people when I started, we didn't need to get into the business to make the money. We were doing well, but when I saw the vision painted and seeing individuals like you, I mean, you saw we always were in that room. We always did those Jeffrey Combs events before you were heading it up with them. I think personally, uh, I would love to see you, me personally, you on stage painting the vision this celebration. Painting the vision again, raw and real, but painting the vision on what's possible. And getting, see, maybe this gentleman, Chris, that you're talking about, getting him to join you and a few leaders to do like we did before, pre-event. I mean, right before the event started, the day before, when everybody got there, after they registered, we filled that room up, because that's what painted the vision for me to go, you know what, this is a real business system. Mathematical equations guaranteed to work. Let's go, babe. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason we hit the numbers we did within such a short amount of time. Is because of that vision painting. And I agree with you 100%. We need that back, because we don't have vision painters right now, except us cheering our teams on and trying to get on the Zoom with them and get them in the room. I mean, we just did and it went fantastic. We did a Universal, our ISO social, and we based it around Universal Studios. And we took out the presentation and we just got raw and real and painted the vision and just the fun behind it and everything. And we couldn't get the people to leave. And we packed the room and we couldn't get them to leave. I mean, we had to tell them, listen, we're getting charged $200 an hour. Get out. You got to get out. And we need that back again. So me personally, I don't know if this guy would come in and do like a 4-hour thing like we did with you before, just to paint a vision and get people in that room like we did with you, when we first started. That's what got me. So that's where I'm at.
Well, Jeff, I think the vision that, firstly, I acknowledge you for your leadership, even like the consistency you and Debbie have, even smiling through things, even when you don't feel like it, even the fact that you're here and everyone's here on a Sunday night because we all deeply care. Caring is not the problem. Right. We know what the problem is. This is a glaring hole in what's missing. And we get to fill it. And the vision is we get to go experience this training. Then we get to create a version of it. Like, this is where I know Malcolm's fired up, a field-driven version. And all of the people who get to go will be inviting for that, right? And I'm happy to lead it. And it is like the old school trainings, those 3-day intensive ones Jim Rohn used to do or Jeff Combs used to do, but it's like that, but it's not solely focused on network marketing. It is focused on who we are being, how the world is experiencing us, how we're experiencing the world, that transformation. And that is what is missing. And that's the invitation to all of you, like to do this together so we can go and transform the company. Malcolm, what did you want to share? And Jeff, drop your email in. You can only get one invitation per email. Debbie, did it come to your email, hun? It'll come from Mastery and Transformational Training. And I want to acknowledge Malcolm and Dave and Carrie because they signed themselves up for the event and they're like, we're not hosting this unless we're signed up ourselves. So they're all in. Malcolm, you're up, love.
Well, yeah, I'm so glad that Jeff mentioned casting vision. I know exactly how to cast vision, and so do you, and so does Jeff, right? But we're all doing it individually.
Yeah.
It's so much more powerful when we're doing it as a group, casting vision as a group, you know. And I mean, that's the secret sauce for this company I was with. Which, by the way, I met you through one of the trainers used to always talk about Susan Sly. So when I heard Isogenics, I thought, oh, that's Susan Sly's company. Oh, that must be a good company. You know, so it was great. But having these events, and I'm also grateful that Jeff mentioned Jeffrey Combs because we used to haul people to Jeffrey Combs.
Yep.
Hey, you plunk down your money and get your butt in that seat, and we'd fill up a car and drive over there and do Jeffrey Combs, you know, in what was it, Stockton?
Stockton.
Yeah. And so we'd head over to Stockton, try not to get mugged, right?
It says a lot too, Susan, that out of all the things that you've accomplished and all the things that you could do, you're choosing Isogenics, right? And there's so many people that they haven't been making they haven't had their organizations growing. And so what do? They start finding things wrong with the company and then they remove themselves from it, which is the biggest mistake. Like Jimmy Smith says, let's have a moment of silence for them, right? It's this piece that helps when we get stuck. And again, just going back to, you could write your ticket probably anywhere you wanted to go. I feel like there's no better opportunity out there than Isogenics.
No.
Not with AI, not with medical, not with, whatever might be out there, education, whatever. I couldn't make the kind of money I've made here anywhere else. And it wouldn't be as fulfilling and all the other things that go along with it. So again, for us that are here, that's kind of like, I am recording this and I wanted to ask that question before we get too long here. I know we'll end up here pretty soon, but sharing this with people, can we do that? Are you okay with doing that? Or would you rather us set another time? And now that everybody kind of knows what it is and those that have bought in are like, oh shoot, I wish I had so-and-so here. I don't know what we want to do as far as like building that kind of momentum. If we want to do another one next Sunday, or if we want to do one on Tuesday night, or whatever. But again, just those things I wanted to share, and just the fact that you're leading the way with this and that your flag is planted with Isogenics. Again, I don't feel like there's any better opportunity on the planet.
No, there isn't. And the thing I love about this, because in the personality profiles, I'm fairly balanced, but my analyzer person was like, okay, the thing I love about this is no one is going to, like, we go and our team goes, one, there's not going to be cross recruiting happening. Two, it's so affordable. Like the basic training, I said to Dave and Carrie, is 12 cycles. The advanced training is 24 cycles, right? And then they only ask you to pay a deposit. And the funny thing is, when you pay the deposit, there's no penalty for only paying a deposit. And you know how you pay for a deposit and then it's going to cost 20% more because you don't pay all at once? They don't even charge that. And because I've met the owner of the company and all the people who work there, I've actually seen some trainers cry because they care so deeply about people's transformations. And there's no like, oh, Jojo, buy this $50,000 coaching package. They don't have anything like that. They do have workshops, and you have to graduate to go to the different workshops. Like Chris is doing one in LA called Abundance and Prosperity on the 20th and 21st of December, and I'm going with my kids. I really feel passionate because I also feel it's a very safe trajectory for our people. And sometimes it hasn't always been safe. Like as much as I love Eric and Marina, and we say no cross recruiting, I would go to those events and there would be tons of cross recruiting. Or there's an upsell to a $25,000 package, or there's like all this stuff, and we don't have that here. So that's, one thing I love. Malcolm?
I'm just wondering. Uh, I've got two guests, Bev and Regina. Do they need to put their emails in so that you can send them an invite? Kind of
If
like,
you have anybody else have any questions? We don't want to like dominate this whole conversation here. If there's somebody, raise your hand if you want to say something or just unmute.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And the email doesn't come from me. It comes from Mastery and Transformational Training. That's them. And then what happens, I'll just for the analyzers, the fellow analyzers here. So what happens is you're going to get an email. It's going to ask you to create an account. I think it takes like 20 seconds. And then your deposit is $295. Your full fee is due the day of the event. You are allowed to move it once. So if you want to claim your spot in this one, I believe, though I could be wrong, last night I think I heard there were 129 people already registered and they usually take 150. So you claim your spot. If you have to move it to another training, you can do that. You're very fortunate that you have a friend in me. I know when Chris trains, he is training the December 12th to 14th event. I don't think he'll be training the next basic after that. But okay, Bev and Regina, what questions does anyone have before we wrap up?
If we went to an event, we would want to train with this Chris guy because you speak so highly of him.
That's the October one, right? This one coming up, he's going to be at that.
Yes, and he is also training that advanced, and that one's going to be really special.
And December?
There is no advanced in December.
No, I mean the basic in December.
Yes, he's training basic in December.
If we did the October now basic, when's the next advance that we could go?
January.
January.
Generally speaking, people who do basic together do advanced together. It's just it doesn't have to be that way. Andreas?
Yeah, so something to add is that it is highly encouraged that once you complete basic, you do the following advanced because you're going to make some valuable connections with people that you from all walks of life in there, and you create a sense of family in through the trainings, and it's really valuable when you get to do it with the people you already know. Um, so that's a huge aspect of it. But also, again, you also do want to do the following one because they do it like I wouldn't say exactly back to back, but yeah, you want to do it so you can also experience Chris in basic and Chris in advanced. Um, so he can set you up for success and you're not going in with like although every advance is valuable, the training is just different. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And
If you guys want to go, Wendy, I don't know, Pam, throw your email in because Susan's sending out those links. I don't have them. So,
yeah, they come from the company.
so you're
Ron?
writing down the emails that people are putting in the chat, right, Susan?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I did. And Jeff and Debbie just check, and everyone just check if you got the link. And then,
I
hey,
don't have
beautiful.
any Wi-Fi right now, and I don't want to bump my Zoom off my phone. I can't get on my computer. We had no power, and now we have no Wi-Fi. So I'll check it right when we.
If you do a link, it doesn't mean you're going, but you could at least look at it because it
I
does give
just
you some
kind
information.
of want to dump the Zoom.
I want us to all. I know we're promoting Chris right now, but I want to promote Susan. I want Susan you on stage at Celebration. So let's all push. I don't know if you already are, but I'd like you on stage painting the vision for everybody at Celebration.
Thank you.
We need it. We need it. We need it. I mean, because a lot of people, they've got so many new people. They don't know who Susan is, and you're powerful. You're a powerful vision painter and that sort of thing, and you have success behind you. So for someone like me or somebody to listen, I'm not going to listen to some broke ass person that barely makes anything. I know I'm going to listen to somebody that makes a lot of money. and is doing something. And so this is why I think it's real important to I want all of us to promote you. I don't know. Are you already scheduled to speak?
No, I'm not scheduled to speak, and I'm here to serve. My legacy
Well,
is
yeah, at the very least, we could do an event prior, like you
Yeah,
said,
perfect. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Susan with Susan on stage, and we can get all of our teams there. That's for sure, and we're in control of that. So I just want to say, first of all, Susan, thank you so much. I love you, sister. This is exactly what we need. This is exactly what I need. This is what is missing. 100%. You know it. I know it. I trust you with, you have just, you've brought my life so far, and I'm in the middle of, you guys, I lost my way, and yet I found myself. And that's where I am right now. I've had such a deep transformation in the last 5 months. So thank you. I will work on getting there. Now, here's what I want to know. I've got a few top leaders that I really want to get the invites to. Should I email you their email?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and tell them to check their spam.
Okay.
So there's something beautiful, and I know Malcolm, you want to say something. Here's my email.
I'll upload this to YouTube, you guys, make it private, and I'll send everybody that's on here a link. So
Okay.
share it.
And remember, you can claim your spot, and if you have to move it, they do let you move it. Marilyn, who's in the office, is darling. Malcolm, what did you want to say?
Yes, I wanted to. Regina asked, "Do they have a website?" And so I clicked on that link, and they do have a website. I want to make sure Regina knows that. And then she asked, "I'll be able to swing it if my full-time job will pay for it. They'll pay for courses they pre-approve." So, what the huge benefit that I see for this is we've all had catastrophes in our life that and sometimes you can recover from them, sometimes it's real difficult, and I kind of had PTSD from my childhood. It's kind of like I went to Vietnam when I was 4 years old, and I was having trouble with that, and it was affecting my performance, and I needed to let go of some things that no longer served me. Even though they served me as a child, they didn't serve me as an adult. And but my subconscious mind is pulling me back to those tools, right? And so I needed to do some very deep transformational work. And I mean, if I was working for a company, I would tell them, okay, I've had this trauma, and I believe this is going to help me perform my job better. Okay. And I'll bet they'd go for that. I bet the HR guys would say, okay, well, all right. Because I mean, if you went to the company and said, I've got a real drinking problem, I need to dry out. Okay, they'd say, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, let's do that. What's
Do you
that
have any
course cost?
credentials behind them, Susan, as far as educational credits or anything like that? Or
Well, for corporate, so one of the things when people's companies send them, they'll say it's a communication course, and it is. It's a communication course, how you communicate with yourself, how you communicate with the world. And Malcolm brought up the most excellent point. We all have our trauma rackets, limiting beliefs. I certainly had a lot when my dad died last year. There was a lot of things that happened for me that surfaced. And yeah, I just wouldn't have been like the person you see like now who's lighter, who's happier. I've never been this person. I always was like so intense. And to be able to be so free, like it's just huge. It's huge. Rhonda, you're all signed up. Look at
Yes.
you, powerhouse.
awesome. Anybody else want to say anything? Did you want to say anything still, Rhonda? Your hand's raised, but I don't know.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, I'll say this. I came to this Zoom ready to fall asleep, and now I want to get up and just like go do jumping jacks. So I will.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Susan and Mia and everybody for coming on. I'll get this loaded up to YouTube, like I said, and then send you guys the links and you can share it with your teams. Maybe if we have enough, like don't go doing a Zoom behind my back. I want to know because I can get more people on here, right? So let's do this as a group and as a team And I know Susan, you'd be open to doing it again. And
Can we do that soon? Like, because people are going to have to book flights, can we plan something
well,
really
do we
quickly?
want to plan something right now for this week? Like, we don't want to
Yeah.
wait till the weekend because that's 7 days away, right? So,
Yep. My girls who are going to basic, they meet Tuesdays at 5:30 Pacific, so we could meet right after that. They're so on fire. And it's really cute. I gave them a project because they're all getting ready to come. So I said, you guys get to create a project. So they created this virtual opportunity presentation. I haven't had my leaders create a presentation by themselves in years. Like, oh my gosh, like all these things are happening. It's awesome. And they're so excited. They're so on fire. They're asking me all the questions like, what do we need to bring? That you dress very casually and you dress in layers. I brought e-shots in my bag. I had hydrate in my bag. I had bars in my bag, all the good stuff. Chris is very rigorous. No one gets to drink alcohol. It's not like you go out and party because you're doing like really the soul work of it. But I lived on my ISA and it was amazing. Malcolm?
I'm in for 5:30 Pacific because I have a leader that I forgot, and I want to. So I left a message for her. I couldn't get her on this one, but I'd like to do 5:30 Pacific. What would that look like? How do we do that?
Could you do 6:30?
Or
6,
6:30
because you
Pacific?
have your other one at 5:30, right? So
Yeah,
Okay.
they're meeting at 5:30 because we're working on their ICE community service project that they're creating, so, which
Okay.
is
Cool.
Malcolm, you will go crazy. Like this is all your stuff, brother. Like you're gonna be like
yeah, he will.
Okay. 6:30 Tuesday, and
Tuesday.
on Dave's would Dave Zoom work?
Yeah, the same
Yeah.
thing. Let's do this.
That's fantastic.
In
Yes.
fact, I'm just going to upload this to, sorry, Debbie, I'm going to upload this to the Forever Pack business group. I think some of you are in there, and then I'll put it on YouTube as well. And then let's just see what we can do as far as hitting that. Is that okay, Susan? Do you feel okay with
of course. Yeah.
I think we can ignite some enthusiasm and even draw in some other leaders. If you know some other leaders like Renata, you were saying Kirk Metz may come to this.
Kirk said he's coming. He texted me and I'm like, brother, we got to get your ticket because yeah. And Kirk got doctor's clearance. So I think Michelle Castle's going to come. Um, yeah. Oh my gosh. Sunday night is going to be so amazing, as Andrea said. Like it's going to be such a celebration. I promise if you're carrying some stuff, you won't even look the same Sunday night. I have a picture of me at my graduation. I'm just looking at it with Chris, my husband, and Chris Lee. I don't even look the same. And some of you haven't seen me in a while. You probably notice I'm just lighter. I'm happier. Like life is still lifing, but I just feel happy. I want this for everyone. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for your time tonight, and we'll see you on Wednesday then.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Sorry. Tuesday.
I will see you Tuesday. Wendy, yes, transformation is my love language. I can't wait to see you. I see all of you. If you love you, love you, love you. Let's transform our company.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan. Nice seeing you.
You
Thank
too.
you
Text me if you have any
so
questions.
much.
I love you guys. I'll put my number in the chat. I think Debbie and Jeff, you have my number.
We are doing it. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you.
Grab the number, and then I'll, if you need it.
Okay.
Yeah, wait a second, Dave.
Okay.
480.
I think we have it, but yeah.
I think we
All
did.
I'll see if I can get online.
Okay. Thank you, guys. See ya.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank
See
you.
you guys. Thanks, Bev. Bye, everyone.